All right, 14.6. What we are doing is carrying things over to the balance sheet and the income statement. We carry them across from the trial balance. So as you will see, many of the numbers will be the same. So we start with cash, which remains $18,485, $300 for petty cash. Accounts receivable is $15,485.25. Now we get to some things that we've made adjustments on. Remember, when we have two credits, we add them together. That's how I get $26.44. Now I have two debits. I have a debit and I have a credit, so I subtract those two. That's how I get my balance sheet number. You should have these numbers in the next three. Those are the adjustments that were given to you in the book. Office equipment remains the same. The next one, we have two credits. We add them together. That's how I get $18,605.25. Store equipment remains the same. Remember, if it's a debit, it remains in the debit in the balance sheet. Then we add again in accumulated depreciation store equipment. That's $20,543.25. Then we could go down to $18,482.28. We still have not done the taxes yet, so you don't have that number so far. And then pretty much all of these numbers remain the same. Dividends is a debit, and that's the last number that goes in the balance sheet. Then we go to the income statement. The income statement numbers, again, now you're going to deal with some adjustments and carrying across. We have an adjustment number in the income summary, that $13,848.05. That's a debit, so it remains in the debit. And you have a credit, debits, and you have two credits, purchases, discount, purchases, returns, and allowances. Then the rest are all debits. Even the adjustments. I know there's not a number there, but that still goes in the debit column. You'll find in the income statement there's very few credits. It's mainly debits that we deal with. The only thing you do, and I know I have the number in now, but you do not put in the federal income tax expense immediately. And you total these up without that number included. Okay, and you're obviously going to get a little bit different number than I have there. You go down below where it says total income statement credit, and you can see this one does not change. It's going to be $859,940.34, but the debit number is going to be a little bit different without the $40,000 in there, and that number will be $714,284.4. And you subtract those two, and you get your net income before federal income tax, which is $145,655.94. Therefore, we go over to the right-hand side, and you can see I've taken that number up with me. And now we're going to work on taxes. The first $50,000 of net income before federal income tax is taxed at 15%. So we get a number of $7,500. The next number is $25,000. So that means if we have a net income of $75,000 or more, it's taxed at 25%. That's where I get $6,250. Then if I have $100,000, which I do, it's taxed at 34%. I take $25,000 times 34%. I take $25,000 times 25%. I take $50,000 times 15%. Now I come down here. This is only used if it's over $100,000. Well, in this situation it is. So I subtract $100,000 from this, and I know over $100,000 is $45,655.94. That's taxed at 39%. So my tax there is $17,805.82. So I add those four numbers together. That's how I get $40,055.82. Now, just thinking ahead here on your own, your tax is going to be, for example, $79,000. I'm just throwing a number out there. So I would tax $50,000, I would tax $25,000, and then I would tax $4,000 at 34% because it's a running total. So now that we have calculated this, the $40,055.82, I am going to credit federal income tax payable for $55,482, and I'm going to debit in the adjustments federal income tax expense. $40,000 has already been paid, so there's $55 that has not been paid yet, and then I run that across. And then I finish this. Remember, I subtract this minus this is $105,600. Do the same thing over here. Big number minus small number, and then we have completed the worksheet.